Good morning, everyone. Welcome to ABC Yoga. We're back upstairs, and we're going to start this morning on our backs. If you have a brick close by, we are going to do a restorative posture to start class this morning, which we've done several times. If you don't have a brick, that's also okay. It'll give you a couple of options. So those without a brick, you can go into Supta Baddha Konasana with your bound feet, palms turned up towards the sky. If you have a brick or a book, we've got the 3 different levels. I would take one level lower than what you are capable of doing, so we can open up the body and allow it to relax as we start class. So bending those knees, feet hips distance apart. You'll take the brick. I'm going to take it on the 2nd level at the sacral area, nice and supported. Knees can either fold in or feet can be solid, but let's everyone turn our palms up towards the sky. Spread the toes wide. Let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Open up the mouth, gently sigh it out. 2 more like that. Sip in the breath, inhale. Mouth opens, gently exhale. We'll take 2 more like that. Full breath in. Open up the mouth, gently let it go. And last full inhale. Sip in a little more breath. Mouth opens like you're fogging a mirror. And we'll seal our lips. And begin to find your own rhythmic breathing in and out through the nose. And we'll gently rock the head side to side. See if you can bring your chin towards the shoulder, back through center. And then pause, keeping that head in a neutral state. Eyes are soft or closed. And taking a body scan from the crown of the head, weave back and forth in the body. Let go of any tension. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Energetically coming into the space. Allowing yourself to settle onto your mat. To come and awaken the body. And the most important aspect of our class is connecting with our breath. So sip in 1 more inhale. Let it go. Then you'll take the brick to the side of your space. Stretch both knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a beautiful hug this morning. Drawing those knees into your chest. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Your feet are side by side, ankles touching. See if you can allow your spine, as much of your spine, to connect with the floor as possible. Keep hugging those knees into your chest. And then we'll cactus our hands out to the side. Let's draw our knees to the right side of the mat. You can take your gaze over the opposite shoulder. If this is a little too deep of a posture this morning, you can support those knees with your brick. Let's sip in 1 more breath. And we'll draw the knees back to center and we'll take them in the opposite direction. Feel that stretch in the lower back. And after a few breaths, maybe take your gaze over that opposite shoulder. Can the back of your hands connect with the floor? 2 more inhales here. Last full breath in. And we'll draw our knees back to center. Let's take our hands behind our knees and rock backwards and forwards. 3 or 4 rocks, warming up that back body. And we'll cross our ankles and just step back into our cat-cow position. Hands directly underneath our shoulders. We tap the tops of our feet awake, pressing the shins into the earth. Just wag your tail side to side. And we'll gaze over that right shoulder. Those left ribs fan. They fan wide open. And you'll draw your head back through home base, and then we'll take our gaze over that opposite shoulder. And back through center. Again, one more time, take a gaze over that right shoulder. Maybe you can find that right foot or further behind your mat. And coming back through center, we'll take a gaze one more time over that opposite shoulder, those right ribs fan. Maybe you find that left heel or beyond your mat. And we'll come back through center. And for the next few breaths, just finding your cat-cow. So we tuck our tail, drop our head, maybe shake out your head. Lift your heart on the inhalation. Open up those collarbones, eyes towards the sky, sits bones up towards the heaven. Then draw the navel in, drop the head, spread your fingers wide. Push the floor with your hands. Press the shins into the mat. Breathe into that back body. Inhale, reach the heart forward. On an exhale, we draw that navel into the spine. Couple more breaths here. Let's take another inhale. Exhale the air completely. Come back through neutral. Hover those knees off the mat for 3, 2, on 1, we roll over the toes and just pedal out those feet. Spread those fingers wide. Just alternating, reaching opposite heel towards the floor. The toes are spread wide. Shake out that head one more time. And then begin to find stillness in your downward dog. So if your heels are connected with the floor, please walk your feet back a couple of inches or walk your hands forward. So I want heels off the mat so we can gradually open up those hamstrings throughout our practice. So a little deeper. Let's take another breath in here. On an exhalation, keep your feet where they are. We'll just walk our hands back towards our toes. And then we're going to walk our hands forward into a high plank. Pause here, navel in and up towards the spine. Lift those sits bones and walk those hands back towards the toes. You can soften those knees as much as you need to. Then we walk our hands back forward into that high plank and that beautiful line of energy from our heels out through the crown of our head. Again, walk those hands back towards your toes. Maybe draw the crown of your head towards the floor. Then we'll walk our hands back into that high plank again. Navel's engaged. 2 more times. We walk our hands back towards our toes. And we'll find our way back into high plank. Shoulders over the wrist creases. Beautiful. Last time. Hands walk back towards your toes. Then we take a walk forward into our high plank. Shoulders over the wrist creases, fingers spread wide. 5 counts to lower to the mat. Hug those elbows in. You have the option to drop your knees to the earth. Take your time. 5, 4. Hug those elbows in. 3, 2, and on 1, we untuck our toes. Draw your forehead to the mat. Squeeze those elbows in. Inhale, moving from the back of our heart. We find our baby cobra, warming up that lower back. Exhale, forehead to the floor. 3 more like that. We breathe in. Find maybe an extra little lift. Exhale, ride that breath down. Last 2, sip in that breath. Slowly exhale. Last one, inhale, we find that baby cobra. Maybe take your hands off the floor. Beautiful. Slowly ride that breath all the way back down. Now we tuck our toes under, press through high plank. We find our downward dog on the exhalation. Keep your hands where they are. Now we'll walk our feet back to the heel of our hands. Heel toe those feet together. Let's find that halfway lift. Reach your heart forward. Navel's engaged. You have that beautiful line of energy from your sits bones out through the crown of your head. Then soften those knees, crown of the head towards the floor. Shake out that head. Let's find that halfway lift. Fingers can rest on your shins. You can always use a brick. On an exhalation, forward fold, Uttanasana. 2 more. We find that beautiful length. Reach your heart forward. Soften the knees, crown of the head towards the floor. Last one. Sipping that breath, full inhale. Exhale, we soften. And then inhale, ride that breath all the way up to standing. We'll bring our prayer to our heart center, Samastitihi. Let's pause and breathe here for a moment. We set an intention or a prayer or dedication for our practice this morning. Let's flutter those eyelids open and release your hands alongside the body. We're going to step that right leg back about 2.5 feet. Take your hands on your hips so you square your hips towards the front of the mirror. And then more forward fold, fingers to the floor. So notice that that left hip blossoms out. You can use that left thumb to steer the hips towards the back of your mat. Hands support on the floor. You can soften that left knee. So imagine that navel is lengthening over that left thigh. Shake out that head. And we'll step that right foot to the left. And then draw that left foot 2.5 to 3 feet back. That left foot is at a 45-degree angle. Again, you can take that thumb in that right hip crease, draw that hip away from the body. Maybe soften that right knee. Reaching your heart forward and maybe lengthen, drawing the chin towards that shin. Feeling that stretch in the hamstring. One more breath here. Then we'll step that left foot forward to the right foot. Now we'll step that right leg back into a high lunge. Left knee over that left ankle. Right hand on the inside of that front foot and lift that left hand high. So really straighten through that right leg. Notice if that knee is bent. See if you can engage those hamstrings. Reach through the heel. Fingers are spread wide. We'll lower that left hand down, step that right foot to the left. Then we'll step that left leg back. We find that high lunge. Engage the back of the thigh. Left hand on the inside of the front foot. Right hand reaches up towards the sky. So spread those fingers. Squeeze that right knee towards the left shoulder. Can you straighten through that right arm? Maybe gaze up towards that hand. We'll release that right hand to the mat. Step that right leg back into your high plank. Navel is engaged. Give yourself hips distance apart with your feet. Now we'll take opposite. We're going to reach our hand to the opposite shoulder without moving the body. So see if you can just lift that hand up. Alternating. Last 4, 3, 2, on 1. We find our downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Shake out the head. Now extend that right leg high. We bend the knee and stack that the hips, right hip over the left. We spin our chest towards the floor. Now lengthen that right leg out behind you and then lower that right leg. You find that internal rotation in the hips, and we squeeze the knee into the nose and extend that right leg. 3 more like that. Inhale, shift the weight forward, maybe connect with the knee, then extend through the toes. Beautiful. 2 more. We breathe in and breathe out. Last one, knee to the nose, then extend and lower that right leg down. Downward dog. Pause and breathe, shake out that head. We draw the toes into a center line again. And please lift that left leg, bend the knee, stack the hip. Lower move the chest so it is more parallel to towards your mat. Then extend that left leg, lower the leg down, squeezing those inner thighs together, beautiful. Now on an inhale, squeeze the knee to the nose. Exhale, extend. 3 more like that, straighten through those arms. We breathe in, shift that weight forward, breathe out, press through the toes. 2 more, inhale, squeeze, exhale, extend. Last one, knee to nose. We lengthen through the toes and lower that leg down through the mat. Let's cycle through a vinyasa. Please inhale to high plank. Exhale to low plank. We find a cobra, maybe an upward dog. Thighs are off the mat, the tops of the feet are rooted. We open up those collarbones, then we roll over our toes, downward dog. Right leg lifts. Finding warrior 1. And rise. Soften into that front knee. We'll open into our warrior 2. We'll reverse on the inhalation and cycle through your vinyasa, hands to the mat. Right leg back. High to low plank. A cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, exhale. Other side, please lift the left leg high. We find our warrior 1. Ride the breath all the way up. Nice, now open into warrior 2. Reverse the inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. Beautiful, left leg back. High to low plank. A cobra or upward dog. We meet in downward dog, pause and breathe. Eyes are soft, our breath is steady. Play with a slight bend in the knees, press your chest a little closer to your thighs. Straighten through the arms the best of your ability this morning. Can you feel all 10 finger pads as they connect with the floor? Maybe squeeze the floor. Let's take another inhale. Complete that exhalation, bend the knees, step, walk, or hop to the top of the mat. We lift our hearts halfway, forward fold, and then sit into your chair. Hips heavy, heart is lifted. We spin those pinkies in. We draw those shoulders back into the sockets, weight into the heels. Sit those hips a little further down. So really engaging those muscles. I'm squeezing my thighs into that center line. You can always use a brick here. Engaging those core muscles. Can you drop a little deeper? Take one more breath in here. Beautiful, hands through heart center as we fold forward. Let's lift our hearts halfway. Step or jump those feet back. Take your time. High to low plank. A cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, exhale. We lift our right leg high. We find our warrior 1 and rise. Open again into warrior 2. Reverse on the inhalation. Now take that forearm on the right thigh, left arm up and over. Back through warrior 2. We reverse. And then find that forearm on the thigh, left arm up and over. 3 more like that. Breathe in, the lower body stays where it is. We open up Forearm on thigh, left arm up and over, back into warrior two. One more. We reverse, forearm on thigh, left hand, pause and breathe here. Let's open up that shoulder. And we'll change direction. Then pause and breathe. Pinky spins down towards the earth. We draw that shoulder back into the socket. Stay here or reach that right hand on the inside of the front foot. Again, you can always use a brick to bring the earth a little closer or play your edge this morning. See if you can find the finger pads, maybe the palm for some of you. 2 more breaths here. Eyes are gazing up towards that upper hand, or if there's any tension in the head or neck, we always just look towards the floor. Find that breath, take 1 more inhale. Complete that exhalation. Everyone, on an inhale, we find our way back into warrior two. Cycle through your vinyasa. Hands to the floor, right leg back, high to low, cobra or up dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Shake out that head. We'll take the other side. So we inhale that left leg high. Step it forward and find warrior two. Arms swing up and around. So pull the shoulders or soften the shoulders away from your ears. Let's reverse our warrior on the inhale. And now take the forearm on, left forearm on the thigh, right arm up and over. Pinky spins towards the earth. We find our way into warrior two. Reverse on the inhale. Take that forearm on the thigh, right arm up and over. 2 more. Warrior two. We reverse. We take the forearm on the thigh, right arm up towards the ear. Last time. We find our warrior two, reverse. Forearm on the thigh, right arm up and over. So let's open up those shoulders this morning. Spread the fingers wide. And we'll reverse. Let's finish this revolution. Pinky towards the earth. Now stay here, track that left knee over the ankle, spread the toes wide. And maybe reach that left hand on the inside of the foot. Maybe finger pads touch the floor. Use the brick or maybe explore the palm towards the earth. Another full breath in here. Complete that exhalation. We inhale back into warrior two. Now hands to the mat. Beautiful. Left leg back. High to low. A cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Pause and breathe. Finding that stillness in your downward dog. A soft bend in those knees. We press our chest closer. Then activate those heels. And by drawing the heels a little closer to the floor, we stretch out those hamstrings. Straighten through those arms. Can you straighten through those elbows? Now just walk your feet into that center line. We're going to lift that right leg high and draw the knee to the nose. Inhale, press the toes towards the back of the space and squeeze the knee to the nose. Couple more. Exhale the toes towards the back of your space. Inhale, knee to your nose. 2 more. Inhale, we squeeze. Exhale, we lengthen. Last one, knee to your nose. We're going to hold here and pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2. Look between your hands. Step that front foot forward and ride all the way up into that high lunge. So drawing those arms past your ears. Let's drop into our hips. Walk those right toes forward so you can track that right knee over the right ankle. So I want you to engage that left leg. Straighten the leg to the best of your ability. Arms reach up high. On an exhale, we just bend. Soften that left knee. Hover here. Feel that stretch on the hip flexor. Eyes straight ahead. Inhale, ride that breath. Straighten both legs. Soften on the exhale. Hover here. So just play that edge. Just slowing it down a little bit, allowing the body to open. Look straight ahead. Inhale, lengthen. We'll soften on the exhale. Hover. 2 more, just like that. Riding that breath, inhale. Expanding, we soften on the exhale. 1 more, just like that. Breathe in, find that length, expanding. Soften, let go. And we'll find our way through that high lunge again. Hands to the mat, right leg back, high plank to low. A cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, exhale. We're gonna lift that right leg again. Bend the knee, stack the hip. Stay here or flip your dog. Both feet root. We lift those sits bones. Right hand up and over. Breathing here, shake out that head. Feet are rooted, lift those hips a little higher. Maybe bringing those fingertips towards the floor. Shake out that head. 1 more breath in. On an exhale, we watch that right hand as it comes to the mat. Right leg lifts up towards the sky. And we'll just lower it down, downward dog. Pause and breathe, readjust. And we'll walk those toes back into that center line again. Please lift that left leg. And we'll draw the knee to the nose. We shift that weight forward. And then lengthen, press through the toes. Inhale, knee to our nose, round that back body. Exhale, find that length. 3 more, we breathe in and squeeze. Exhale and lengthen. Last 2, breath in. Exhale, extend. This one, knee to our nose. Maybe pulse that knee. 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Step that leg forward. From that firm foundation, we rise. We find that high lunge. So maybe walk those left toes more forward of your mat. My legs are offset for a more solid base. Straighten through that right leg. Press through the heel. Arms reach up, and we're drawing those arms past our ears. So with our chest open, knit those ribs back into the body. So full breath in here. On an exhale, we slowly hover that knee. Feel that stretch. Feel that support. Working on our balance. Inhale, lift everything, including your eyes. Exhale, soften and let go. 3 more like that. We're breathing, sipping in that breath. Exhale, soften. Energetically lengthening that right thigh. Breath in and breath out. Let's do 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. We'll lift up your hands. Take your hands to the mat. Downward dog. And we'll lift that left leg high. Bend the knee and flip your dog. Finding that wild thing. From here, my feet are parallel to the mat. We lift those hips. You can stay supported with 1 hand. Leveling off those hips. Or extend that left hand up and over. Opening up that heart space. Throat is soft, our eyes are bright. From the rootedness of our feet, everyone lift the front body an extra inch higher. Engage those muscles. Soften through the breath, in and out through the nose. And then watch that left hand as it comes to the mat. We extend that left leg high. Just shake it down to the mat. And let's take a nice, well-deserved child's pose. Our knees split, our toes touch, hips are heavy. Just nestle those hips down. And I'm gonna walk my hands closer to my body. A deep bend in those elbows. Forehead to the floor, maybe to your brick. Slow everything down. Lick your lips. Relax your face. Trace the breath in and out through the nose. Let's take another full breath in. Complete that exhalation. We'll come onto our elbows. Keep your forehead where it is. Soles of the palms pressed together. And take the tips of your fingers up and over your head. See if you can melt that heart a little deeper. Remembering that prayer intention or dedication at the beginning of class. And we'll slowly release our hands to the mat. Shift the weight forward. Toes tucked under. Downward dog again. Eyes towards the back of the mat. We inhale that right leg high. And step it forward into our warrior two. Swing those arms around, drop into those hips. Let's lengthen that right leg. Reach your hands forward, setting up for our triangle. Soften that right knee. Then let's come back to center. We'll reach, hips bump back, those lower ribs reach towards the front of your mat. Then come back towards center. Straight spine. You can soften that right knee. Again, let's reach forward and back to center. Beautiful. One more time. Find that reach. Lower the hand. Left hand lifts. Eyes towards that upper hand. Breathing here. And we'll take that right hand. We'll take our left hand on our left hip. Shift your eyes towards the right foot. We'll find our half moon. So fingers about a foot in front of you. You lift that left leg. Point the toes. You can use the brick on the bottom hand. Maybe extend that left hand up towards the sky. Breathing here. Always an option to shift your gaze towards that upper hand. If you fall out, just come right back in. We have 2 more breaths here. Last full inhale. On an exhale, that left hand's going to come to the floor. We'll find our version of the standing split. So it's early. So let go of where you think that left leg needs to go. Soften that right knee as much as you need to. Maybe walk your hands back towards that right ankle. One or both hands connect to the foot. Can you lift that leg a little higher? Shake out that head. Take another breath here. Now we'll do our Shiva Squats. So that left knee comes behind that right knee. We find that deep bend. Then we lengthen on the inhale. See if you can draw your chin a little closer to that shin. We bend, nestle it behind that right knee, spread the toes, inhale, lift. 3 more. We're squeezing, we're bending, then we're extending and lengthening. Last 2, that knee comes right behind, left knee right behind the right, then we extend. Last 1, left knee bends. We're going to keep drawing that left knee all the way down to the mat till you cross that right foot outside the left knee. Both sits bones are rooted. You have the option to extend that left leg. So my right foot is over that left knee. Let's extend that left hand high. Take that elbow outside the knee and we'll twist over the right shoulder. Full breath in and twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist over that right shoulder. 2 more. We breathe in, we lengthen. We soften and twist on the exhale. Last full breath in. That right foot is rooted. We twist over the right shoulder and we'll come back through center. Take a counter twist. And you'll cross your ankles, cycle through a vinyasa. Well, we'll just meet in downward dog. Pause and breathe. We'll walk our toes into a center line, lifting that left leg high, and step it into warrior 2. Arms swing up and around. I'm just going to face you guys. So straighten through that left leg, bump the hips back, and reach the fingers forward. Those lower ribs are drawing towards the back of your space. Beautiful. Inhale, find that tall spine. Feet are rooted, and then reaching forward. Hips bump in one direction. We're always working on opposition. Left fingers reaching forward. And then come back to neutral. Hug the muscles to the bones. Soften the shoulders away from your ears. Beautiful. 2 more. Hips bump back. Left fingers reach a little further. Inhale. And last time, we reach, 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 reach. Then find your triangle. Drop the hand. Right hand up towards the sky. Spread the fingers wide. Eyes up towards the fingers. Or again, always have that option to shift your gaze towards the toes. So noticing the opposition in this position. Your hands are, right hand is reaching high. The left fingers connected with the shin, maybe the brick. Your head in one direction, your sits bones in the other direction. Feet are rooted. One more full inhale. On an exhale, that right hand on the right hip. Soften that left knee, finding our half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. So left fingers to the floor, to the brick. We flex the right toes. After a few breaths, maybe taking that right hand high. Working, those that are working on the balance, just hover those left fingers off the floor a few inches. 2 more breaths. We take another inhale. On an exhale, lower that right hand to the floor. Shift the hips towards your mat and lift that right leg high. So we're just finding that resistance in the body. So our body is just warming up from the start of our day. So that right leg may not be that high. It's really has nothing to do with how high we can lift this leg. It's really how much we can open up the body safely. So taking maybe the left or both hands towards that left ankle. Imagine the chin reaching towards that left shin. And we'll find our Shiva Squat again. So that right knee just nestles behind that left knee. Both knees bend. My chest is actually on that left thigh supported. Then inhale, lengthen through the toes. We'll take 4 more like that. We're breathing and squeezing, then lengthening and extending. Last 3, soften your face, slow down the breath, and lengthen. Last 2, and we extend. This last one, the right knee behind the left knee. Keep bending that left knee. You can use the hands to support. The sits bones come to the earth. Nice. Left foot outside the bent right knee, or just extend that right leg. So from here, we find the groundedness, Those sits bones are rooted. That left foot is your anchor here. Our chest is lifted, extend the right hand high, and let's bend the elbow outside the left knee and twist from the lower spine. So flex the foot. Your right hand is alive. Beautiful, big breath in, and twist over that shoulder. We're breathing, inhale, and twisting. Last two. Twist over that left shoulder. Last inhale. We twist. Come back through center, find that counter twist. And just shake out those legs. We're gonna cross our ankles and find our way into Ustrasana, into our camel. So I'm giving my knees a little extra cushion here. Knees on your mat. Let's tuck our toes under for first Ustrasana. So hand support on that lower back. We hug those elbows in. Our side bodies, we're lengthening our side bodies. So we lift our hearts. Imagine you're bending over a big beach ball. So our heart lifts. We press our hips forward. Eyes up towards the sky. Stay connected with that breath. Notice if there's holding tension in the body. See if you can soften. Back up just a little bit. We're creating openings in the body, not stressing it out. One more full breath in here. Exhale, slowly come up. We're going to sit on our heels. Keep those feet open. And bend the heel of your wrists in forward, in front of you. So again, if this is too intense, we just encourage you to walk your hands closer to the body. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Slow down the breath. We'll turn the tops of the hands to the floor. Shoulders soften away from the ears. We'll just shake that energy out of the hands. Untuck the toes. Let's tap them awake. And one more Ustrasana, one more camel. So hands on our lower back. Squeeze those elbows into the center line. Root through the knees. Press through the shins. We're lengthening the side body. So full breath in, lift from the top of your chest, the top of your sternum. Press those hips forward. Find that breath. In and out through the nose. Maybe find those heels for some of you. Eyes are open. So imagine those hip points are pressing more forward into the top of your mat. Let's take one more inhalation. Complete that exhalation. And slowly come all the way up. And we'll take our hands to the floor. Let's find some cat-cows. Undulating that spine. Still connecting that shin to the floor. Navel into the spine, press the palms and shins down. Lift your heart on the inhale. One more. We exhale completely, tail tucks under. Inhale, reach your heart forward. Come through neutral. Let's just cross our ankles and we'll set up for our boat position, Navasana. So hover those knees off, the feet off the floor, shins parallel, reach those hands forward, beautiful tall spine. So squeeze those knees together. Maybe you even squeeze the brick here. 5 breaths. Ujjayi breath, victorious breath. One more inhale. I'm going to cross my ankles, still squeezing that brick. Lift. and Navasana. It's a little harder with this heavy brick. So reach those hands forward, tall spine. Navel is engaged. We're breathing. Squeeze that brick or squeeze those knees together. Cross those ankles. Hands by your hips. We lift. And last time. It's more challenging with that brick. Lift that heart. Eyes straight in front of you. Maybe straighten those legs. Keep squeezing here. 3, 2, on 1. Cross those ankles. Let's cycle through our vinyasa. High to low plank. Cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, exhale. We'll lift that right leg high and step it forward into a low lunge. Untuck those left toes. Hands play on both sides of that front foot. So melt into those hips. Now we'll draw our hips back and flex those right toes. Soften the shoulders away from your ears. And taking a deep bend in that right knee again. And we'll draw those hips back, flex those right toes. And last one, a nice deep bend in that right knee. You stay here or we're working on Hanumanasana. Walk that right leg forward. So all those Shiva Squats, so we can work on our right leg split. So squaring those hips, use that brick if you need to. Those in full splits, you can extend the arms up overhead, maybe lengthen over that right leg, or just stay supported. Letting go of any destination that we think we need to get to in our yoga practice. It's a journey. We're not getting anywhere. We're letting go of all of those habitual holdings in the body and getting back to our natural state. So take another full breath in. Let it go. We tuck those left toes under. Extend that right leg high. Shake it out. And just lower it down to the earth, downward dog. And other side, left leg lifts. We find that low lunge. Right knee to the earth, untuck the toes. Splay the hands on either side. And then we'll draw our hips back. That right shin is rooted. We're lengthening over that left leg. Feeling that hamstring. And again, let's soften through that left knee. Spread the toes wide. Melt into the hips. Feeling that gorgeous stretch on that right hip flexor again. We soften the shoulders away from your ears. And let's draw those hips back one more time. Toes flex. Lengthening over that leg. And one more deep bend in that knee. Stay here or Hanumanasana. Left toes walk to that edge. Maybe you find that full left leg split or use a brick underneath to support. You want the body to soften and open. A few more breaths here. So I know schools are opening up now and some of you need to leave early. By all means, whenever or how long you can show up for practice, I'm fine with that. If you need to cut out early, you are giving yourself whatever time you have. I appreciate that. So thank you for joining for as long as you can throughout class. Let's take one more inhale. Complete that exhalation. Right toes tuck under. We lift that left leg high. Beautiful. And just shake it out. And let's cycle through a vinyasa. High plank to low. a cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, exhale. We drop our knees to the earth, can cross your ankles and extend those legs out in front of you. So we're going to take a Virasana this morning. So we bend that right knee. If this is challenging or you have knee issues, we'll just invite you to come down and take a figure four on the floor. Otherwise, a deep bend in that right knee can find a little support with your brick. Working on opening up the quadricep this morning. So a nice tall spine. And if there's a little mobility for some of you, you can walk your forearms behind you, flexing those left toes. And some of you may be bringing the back body all the way to the floor. You can take those arms overhead, reaching for opposite elbows. Slow down the breath. Sending the breath to the areas of tightness, allowing the body to open. One more breath in here. On an exhale, if you came all the way down, you find your way onto your forearms. Or an else, let's slowly release that right leg, extend it, shake it out, and we'll take the other side. So the left knee bends. Maybe find that support of the brick or just stay right here. So I'm guiding you through the practice, but you are your own teacher. So honor where you are, maybe coming onto those forearms. And we usually have one side that's a little more open than the other. Maybe come all the way back down. We have 2 more breaths here. Let's take a final full inhale. Complete that exhalation. Release your hands, slowly come all the way back up. And we'll release that left leg, shake it out. And remove that extra flesh. And we'll take a forward fold. Full inhale. Hinge from those hip creases, opening up that back part of the body, the west part of our body, Paschimottanasana. Soften those knees, flex the feet. And on an inhalation, lift your heart. We'll take our hands 6 to 12 inches behind you. Let's bend both knees, root the feet, lift those hips, and open up the front side of the body, finding that tabletop. Maybe extend that right leg and lower it down. Maybe take the opposite leg up. Let's lift everything and then slowly lower the hips down. We'll take the soles of our feet together. Baddha Konasana, butterfly. So opening up our feet like a book. Can flap those knees. And then we'll take our heart forward, a beautiful long spine. Elbows, encourage those thighs to the floor. And then crown the head towards the toes. 2 more breaths. Last full inhale. Finish that exhalation. Let's lift the heart. Hands outside those knees. Squeeze those knees in. Extend those legs. 1 more Paschimottanasana. Full breath in. And forward fold. Always use a brick If you want to go a little deeper, allowing yourself to settle in, let go. Final full breath here. And we'll slowly rise and take that back body to the mat. All the way down. And reach the arms up overhead. Let's squeeze everything. 5, 4, 3, 2, and on 1, let go. And finding that next full incoming breath. Gently sigh it out. Just move the wrists. Just wag the ankles in and out and take a full breath in. Stretch overhead. And exhale, hug those knees in. And we'll slowly lower our knees to either side of your mat. Pause here for a breath or two. You can stay there, or I invite you up to a seated position. Eyes soft or closed. Remembering that intention you set at the beginning of class. And a quote this morning from Maya Angelou. You are the sum total of everything you've ever seen, heard, eaten, smelled, been told, forgot. It's all there. Everything influences each of us. And because of that, I try to make sure that my experiences are positive. So with that, let's bring our hands to our heart center, bowing our forehead to the tips of our fingers. Just feeling the effects of your practice this morning. Connecting with your breath. Slowing down. Opening up the body. Connecting with community. So inviting you to join your voices to close class with one beautiful Om. Let's sip in the inhale. The light within me honors and recognizes the light within all of you. Thank you for a beautiful practice. Make it a great day. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the music.
Thank you.
Spring is springing here. Hope everyone has a wonderful